Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new edition of Human Dialogues. I'm Jessica Lockhart. I am the director of the International Institute of Humanology, and I am really thrilled to be with you one more month to discuss a human topic. As you know, every month the followers and the members of the International Institute of Humanology choose a topic. They choose a human topic that is going to be the focus of the work we're going to be doing for that month. And the topic we're going to be dealing with this month is a very important one, especially important one in today's world. We're going to be talking about forgiveness. And I think that once you listen to the guests we have today, you might be inspired to start forgiving more. I am very happy and honored and humbled to have a very special guest with us today. Her name is NOORZIA AFRIDI. I hope I pronounced her name properly. And as a college student, she already founded and became the CEO of SAWERA, Society for Appraisal of Women Empowerment in Rural Areas in her home country, in an attempt to promote and protect the rights of women at her tribal region. Under her guidance, this NGO implemented different interventions to promote the education of girls and establish training centers. As a result of her activism, though, some of the members in her family were targeted, and she had to flee her home country and take refuge in Europe. Her work is being widely recognized, having already received some very prestigious awards, among which we could mention Equals in Tech Award 2022, Peace Hero Shield in the Netherlands 2019, or Frontline Human Rights Defender Award in 2014. She continues working and empowering women in her home region from a distance and is still fighting with all her might to improve the lives of many. As you can see, she's a true inspiration. She's a unique, incredible woman, and I am sure she's going to share a lot of nuggets with us today. NOORZIA, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. Please turn your microphone on.
Hey, Jessica, thank you so much for introducing me.
Sorry, my connection just dropped a little bit, but here I am. Thank you. Thank you for being here, NOORZIA. The introduction is no more, no less than what you already did in your life. So we're really honored and proud to have you here.
Thank you.
NOORZIA, we said a little bit about your life story. I know you had a very difficult life at times and you suffered a lot. So the first question I have for you is the one that has the title of today's show. Is forgiveness always possible? What do you think?
Yeah, it's a very good question that you have asked. Forgiveness, like it's a very deep question, yeah. Forgiveness is possible or not? Yeah, it's possible, but if you try to give it a chance, yeah, like we cannot say, no, it's not possible. Yeah, it's possible, but we should give a time and chance to other peoples who have hurt ourselves, who have harmed us, and who have tried to do something harm. Yeah, like I will give my example. Whatever have done with me in the past and with my family and everything. But yeah, I thought that if I will forgive them, and maybe it will have some consequences of the persons, of the people who are trying to harm me and my family and my colleagues. But yeah, when I give them a chance, and later on they realize that yes, we did wrong with her. She was right, yeah. So I tried to forgive them, although it was very hard for me to forgive them. Still, like I have some anger and sadness in my heart, but I forgive them. I try at least, yeah. So what was the result? Like they realize, yes, she is doing a good work. She is just promoting the women rights, and she is doing a good work for women and girls. So there is nothing wrong with that, yeah. They realize, so what was the consequences? What was the result of forgiveness? It's all because of the forgiveness that I forgive them. So yeah, it's always possible.
And in spite of it being possible, you said it was very hard.
Yeah.
What do you think is the reason that people find it so hard to forgive?
Yeah, the reason is the hardest part, like when we think, because it's a decision, yeah, you are taking about someone, like either I should forgive him or her or not. This thing is very difficult. When you decide it, yes, then you can do it. If you cannot decide, so then you will never do it. So first you have to decide, yeah, and you realize, you think about it, what I can do, what he or she has done with me. But yeah, and the most critical size or the hardest part is to forgive yourself. Like if you will say, if I will not forgive myself, and then something will happen to other person, and you will always blame yourself, like myself, why I didn't forgive him or her. So yeah, this is the hardest part, to take a
Yeah,
decision of forgiveness.
yeah. We usually always say at the Institute in Humanology that
Mm,
forgiving others is difficult, especially when the story behind the pain and the
yeah,
anger is a hard one. But sometimes forgiving ourselves is even harder because
yeah.
when we don't forgive ourselves, it's because we feel guilty for some reason. Is that your case? Did you feel guilty, Nursia?
Yeah, in some cases I feel guilty because when there was problem with my family and I was not like obeying their orders, and their instruction. And when I lost my family members, I was feeling so much guilty, like why I didn't accept their request and why today I have lost my sister and brother, and nephew and colleagues. So I was feeling very guilty. And what was the consequences? It was like my health condition was very bad. And like I was totally in trauma and psychological problem I had. And because of guiltness I was feeling. But then I realized, like, yeah, it's my fault. I didn't accept, but it was always like plan or something, This was beyond my control. It was not in my hand. So that happened. And then I realized it's okay. Yeah, with the passage of time, it will overcome. So for that, I was feeling guilty.
Yes, because we also say at the Institute that we're not actually taught how to forgive. I mean, people tell you you have to forgive. It's important to forgive. Forgiveness is very important. But I always say, okay, so how do I do it? How do I forgive? What do you think is the most important aspect of really forgiving? You know, because the most important step is deciding to forget, to forgive.
Mm.
But what is the most important aspect of it? Is it maybe the talking to the person you want to forgive? Is it maybe going over the story in your head so you can find another explanation? What do you think is the most important aspect?
In my opinion, like it's my personal opinion
Of
that
course.
the most important aspect can be like if we think about a person, how much he or she has hurt you, yeah, how much pain he or she has given you. So we will think about it and then we can decide, like, yeah, I can forgive him or her, and if I cannot, but we should forgive them. And what will be the result of it? Like this give, if we don't forgive someone, so it create more problems. Like we think more negativity about that person, yeah, and we will try to harm them. And if we think, I can give a chance and I can forgive him, so it will lead towards peace, like it's peace inside yourself and also peace in the society. So this is the most important aspect of the forgiveness, in my opinion, that it will not
And
give birth
still,
to negativity in the society. Yeah.
yeah, but still, some people say, I don't want to forgive others because if I forgive, I am weak. And if I forgive, they will take advantage of me. You forgave. Do you think this makes you weaker?
No, this is, in my opinion, maybe some people will thinking that it's my weakness, but no, if you will forgive someone, it means you are very strong person, yeah? You can decide and you can give more life and time to other people's. and they will never ever try to harm you again, because then they realize what we have done to them, and in return what she or he has done with me, if you forgive them. But if you will not, and don't think that it's your weakness, it's your strong point that you can forgive someone. Yeah.
Hmm. And there's something that we call like personal or individual forgiveness.
Yeah.
We forgive a specific individual, but in today's world, Nursia, with so many wars raging around and new wars happening almost every day, how can we forgive in society? Because I think that personal forgiveness is important, but what about societal forgiveness? What you live in a country that has suffered a lot too, and that is at war in a sense. So, how can we help society forgive as a society? Do you have any ideas on this?
Yeah, like to give as a personal or individual forgiveness is something else, and to forgive the society, it's something different. Like in society, the whole different persons are coming. Yeah. So, and that aspect, I will say that, yeah, if you will forgive the society because there are different people of different mentality are living, so we should also forgive them. And if we will not do that, then there will be some more problems, societal problem, like the person will fight with each other, they will create problems for each other. So we should also think about the society forgiveness, what we can contribute and their forgiveness, how we can create awareness among the society, yeah, what is good and what is bad, and what is a positive aspect of the forgiveness and what is the negative impact of the forgiveness, yeah. So we should teach the society also. First, start from yourself and then teach the society. So in this way, we can do that. It's
Mhm.
possible. Yeah.
Yes, and I know you're an activist for peace, and you've been coaching, mentoring, and helping girls, especially in your area, in your tribal region. What role does forgiveness play in the training you give these girls? How do you help them, teach them about forgiveness within peace? Do you have any specific training you give them, or do you teach them that they should forgive and how and why?
Yeah, like when I was working with women and girls in Pakistan, and I was always teaching them, like personally by myself, that you should have this skill and you should think about this. At least I know it's difficult for every person and different for every person, but at least we can teach them and to try to identify your strong inner self, like you are strong, you can do that. And we were teaching them about different aspects of life and how to deal with the society, how you are strong and which steps you should take. So I was personally teaching the girls and women, and they were really interesting in their topics and creating awareness among themselves. And then they were teaching to other women and girls in their community. Like I was the single, and my other colleagues, we were only two that we are going
Wow.
to a community. Yeah. And when we were learning from the other people and women and girls, like, yeah, what change they have bring in their community. So it was amazing for us and very impressive that, yeah, what we are teaching to them in a positive way and according to and within their culture, norms and tradition. We didn't disrupt their culture. Within the culture norms and respect, we teach them, and it was a good impact of their, like, they got permission for education, and they also nowadays I'm super happy that they are going to universities. And at that
Oh,
time they was not allowed to go to even primary school and middle school, but now they are going to up to college level and school level and universities. So it
that's
was a big
fantastic.
impact. Yeah.
Yeah. You told us that there were moments in your life in which you were mentally ill and suffering from mental problems. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Because of everything that happened to you and not letting go and not forgiving. How are you mentally now that you forgave? Do you feel stronger? Do you feel happier?
Yes, that time was very hard for me. when I was going through the trauma and mental illness. And that time, like I was always blaming myself, and also like I was thinking how I can forgive these persons and these people who has done this to me and my family and colleagues and everyone. So that's why I was going through the trauma situation. But when I realized that, yeah, I can forgive them and it's my strong point and it should be, yeah. So when I forgive them and literally they realize we have done wrong to her. She was right. She was doing good work, not harming our society and women and girls. But then I realized, yeah, I did good to forgive them because at least they now start thinking about not to do harm to anybody else. So then now I'm feeling normal and I'm happy.
Good. And I suppose
Mm.
you sleep better too, because
Yes,
you can see when we don't forgive, the story remains with us. When we
yeah,
don't forgive, the nightmare follows us
mhm,
even into our sleep. And when we don't forgive, what happened to us keeps on coming back to us over and over and over and over again, like saying, hey, let me go.
yeah. Yeah, we
But
should
then
try to let it go. Yeah, if we will keep it inside ourselves and we were thinking all time about this, so then we can never move forward. We will just think about the past, and that will always go with us in our whole life journey. So it's better try to. I know it's not that much easy, but at least we can try that. Yeah, it's possible.
the other day I was talking to somebody about this in Spanish in our institute in
Mhm.
Spanish, and she was telling us that not forgiving is like putting a chain around your ankles on your feet. And you
Yeah,
walk with the chain on your feet and you drag the chain. When
yeah,
you decide to forgive, you open the chain and you're suddenly free.
yeah.
Is that how you felt as well?
Yeah, this is true. Whoever has said this is very true. Like, as I also mentioned that if you will thinking about some person not to forgive them, it's mean that you will think about them to give them harm also in the result, yeah, what they have done with you. And you are always thinking something negative, and you are not free with this negative thinking. But as you just let them go away, then you will be free, your hands will be free, your mind will be free, and you will think about something positive rather than thinking negative about those persons. Yeah, and you will think move forward and you will do something good in the society. You will try to contribute positivity among the peoples and the women and other people in the whole society. But this is, yes, we should break the
And
chain of
there's,
this negativity.
yeah,
Yeah.
completely. And there's something else. Sometimes people say, well, I can't forgive. I don't want to forgive because if I forgive the people who hurt me, I am somehow saying what you did was not so bad. And I say, no, you can still find their actions horrible, their actions completely negative and nasty, but you can still choose to forgive because forgiveness is not acceptance. Forgiveness is not condoning what people did. Forgiving is letting the story go and freeing yourself. So you're saying, I realized that this woman was right, but I am saying you should also forgive, even when they're wrong, because they might not know better, because we have no power to change them, because holding the grudge inside of us doesn't make that person better, but it makes us worse.
Yeah.
What do you think about this, Nursia? Do you agree?
Yeah, I also agree with you, but like we cannot control anybody. Yeah, everybody has their own thinking and their own level and their own mentality. Yeah, you cannot hold on them, so you can just try what you can do by yourself, and how good you are. It's like forgiveness is, in my opinion, is also like goodness that you are doing with someone.
Mhm.
If later on they are doing again the wrong things, or but it's up to them. But at least you are good to them. Yeah. So at least we should try.
Yeah, and sometimes they don't even know you forgave them.
Yeah.
I've worked with clients who had a lot of problems in their past, like you,
Mhm.
and the abusers were dead, for example, and they were angry because I could never take revenge. They died, for example. But I would tell them it doesn't matter that they're dead. You can still forgive them because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they don't care. The abusers don't care if you forgive them or not, but you
Yeah.
do care. And the
Yeah.
peace is for you, not for them.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
I also mentioned like everybody has their different thinking, yeah, and different mentality. So everybody should think about themselves, how I can do that, yeah. So in this way, there will be peace in our society and peace in yourself, yeah. Inside you will find yourself more peaceful if you will try the forgiveness capacity to apply.
Yeah, that's the whole idea. The whole
Yeah,
idea is for you to feel peace. Because
yeah,
when you're chained to the stories of
yeah,
the past, you
mm,
cannot be at peace because you
yeah,
keep on going back to those stories in your mind and you're living in pain and in anger and in guilt. But
yeah,
when you let the chain go and you free yourself,
yeah,
then the pain and the anger go with it.
yeah.
What would you recommend somebody who wants to start forgiving after hearing your story? Would you give them some practical idea of what they could do to start forgiving?
Yeah, I will recommend and I will say to everybody, like, try to forgive. Yeah, like at least you should try yourself. Yes, I can do. Like later on, if somebody is died, still we are human and we feel sadness. Yeah, for somebody, and then we fighting with ourselves. Why we didn't forgive them? At least I can did this. Yeah, I can do that. Why I didn't do? So it's better that later on that we fight with ourselves. We forgive them, so try to build your this capacity or your this skill. You can do it. We are human, and human has lots of capacity and strength. So make this forgiveness your strength, not your weakness. So you can do
I
everything.
love that.
Yeah, yeah,
I love that quote. Make forgiveness your
yeah,
strength, not your
yeah,
weakness. That's a
yeah,
beautiful quote, Norzia.
yeah. Yeah.
And I
Thank you so
think with
much.
this, yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
really, really beautiful. And I will
yeah.
post it for
Yeah.
everybody to know with your name under it.
Okay, thank you so
Beautiful
much.
message.
Yeah, like this is true. Like it's not like some bookish stories or like some theories, it's practical life examples, whatever has gone in my life. So I just share with you guys. So it's possible, like nothing is impossible. You just give a try.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
On this note, Nurzia, we will finish our human dialogue today. Thank you very, very much for being here, for
Thank
sharing
you.
your story, sharing your insights and your lessons and everything you learned. Thank you so much, Nurzia. And I
Thank you
hope,
so much too.
no, thank you really. And I hope we can have you online on a new edition sometime in the future to discuss other human topics in human dialogues. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And to all of you who just watched this episode, either live or in the reruns, don't forget to make your comments and to subscribe. And our next topic will be, let me tell you, we're going to be talking about motivation next month. Our human dialogues will focus on motivation to survive. No more, no less. I'm Jessica Lockhart. This is Human Dialogues. See you next time. Thank you. Bye.